Welcome back, guys, to the Pinnacle 2. And of course, we have the brackets ready to go. We have 3 final games to show you guys, and each game will determine who comes in 4th place, who comes in 3rd place, and of course, who is the champion, and with that match, who is 2nd place as well. The first match we have for you guys, after all those group stages already are done, is Orange versus Dethelor. Very interesting that both the qualified players actually made it this far and have a shot to actually win the whole thing. The win of that goes to fight on Life Coach, who is showing pretty strong, but of course the strongest contestant right now is Strife Crow. So yeah, those 3 players on the right side definitely want the chance to show their skills against a top player like him right now.
Not a big surprise to see Strife Coach in the winners bracket finals of this event. I think he was the strongest player coming into it, and I think that he's also, in terms of just his decision making, has been performing the best. But I am sad to see Orange and Dethelor have to face each other. I would have loved to see these guys make it to the finals of this event because I think they've both been playing excellently so far, and I think their decks are built really well, and I think they've adjusted to the Undertaker nerfs in slightly different ways, but also very well. So seeing these guys face off, this is something I did want to see, but just not right now. I wanted it to be in the finals. And then, of course, rather than having to face Life Coach, they've got their match made out for him because if there's, it's like he's the one step I feel like below Strife Crow this tournament was Life Coach. I felt like he was the second best player coming into it.
Wow.
He's been putting in a lot of practice lately, and I feel like he understands his matchups very well. And I think he's like missing that one little tiny thing to make him just absolutely one of the best players. Like when I say best players, I mean like top 5, top 10 players in the world caliber. But he's making a really good argument for himself. But first, Dethelor versus Orange.
Oh man, I mean, you said that you want to see them both in the finals, but hey, at least the one of these players is going to advance, so that's a good thing, right? Of course, Dethelor just now showing how strong his mech mage is. Didn't really get to showcase his super aggressive hunter, but hey, what can you do? If one deck wins the whole series, then that's fine enough. Orange, on the other hand, we see that he is playing a rogue. Rogue is one of those kind of more interesting classes. Did we even actually see Orange play Rogue before, or because it was RDU's Rogue that we saw a lot of?
Yeah, it was RDU's Rogue was the one we definitely saw a lot of. But I imagine this is kind of going to be in the same vein. But it just Rogue is one of those decks where it has very different ways to attack in terms of what it chooses to do. So it's like there's Violet Teacher versions, which are going to focus a lot on value. There's Cold Light Oracle versions, which are going to try to really, really blow you out of the water by killing you in one big turn with a bunch of different cards. There's versions that are going to try to scale in the late game with like Dr. Boom and Ragnaros and that sort of thing. It's like Rogue's all over the place. The problem with all of these game plans, at least in my opinion, is that none of them are too particularly strong versus the other options that you have available. So the benefit it gets is that you don't know what it's doing until it's kind of too late. But the trade-off for that is that I feel like you could just be selecting a stronger overall game plan. So this is a deck where I feel like it's like one of the scariest for Dethelor to have to play against right off the bat, because if he chooses like the wrong kind of strategy that he's going to be playing against, he can just drop a game to it. So it's like that's where I don't want to be.
Dropping against the Rogue is just really, really bad. And there you go. The webcams have loaded there. Awesome, awesome. And yeah, they're gonna both be ready to go soon. And once again, do you expect Druids to be the opening? It hasn't been the case for about 90% of these matches.
Well, they've also had the liberty of knowing who they're playing against and knowing a lot more about their play style, I think, than vice versa from their opponents. But now they're not in that situation anymore. I think that both of these guys are relatively unfamiliar with each other's play styles, and that they'll tend to make safer decisions than they would have normal.
Okay. Interesting. Lots of mind games here. And there we go. Going to the game here. It's going to be a Rogue versus a Mech Mage. And I think Rogue does pretty well against the Mech Mage. You can remove their minions really, really easily at the start. And yeah, and you just need to push out for that win afterwards. After a huge Blade Flurry turn, for example, you can just push through with small minions.
Yeah, he's actually going to choose not to coup it. And preparation. I mean, this is sort of where I'm at right now. Like we see Shane X Ramus, we see preparation. Was he the one who's playing Auctioneer?
No, RDU's the one who's playing Auctioneer. One Auctioneer, one Sprint, right? Orange is definitely playing Sprint, but we don't know about Auctioneer. It's one of those cards that have been back and forth because, you know, uh, it is 6 mana now, so it's really hard to get value out of that card when it comes to turn 6.
Got a lot of options for Dethelor. How to move forward.
That's definitely true. Which 2-drop do you want? Usually it is the Chugga, but we know that if the Chugga comes out, it is actually gonna get punished here with the backstab SI along with the coin.
Oh, you can also Blood Mage
Ooh,
backstab, which I really like that one.
that is one that's way better. Oh man, having a Blood Mage on the board against a Mech Mage is just insane, right? It's 1 health. If your opponent decides to ping it, they can't establish anything, so it's like the best, the dream. I love it.
It's kind of tough though. I mean, he doesn't get to develop a 3/3 if he does that though. I mean, that's a big difference.
Right, but the 1/1 against the Mech Mage once again, it's just really, really big. 1 health creatures are very, very good. All right.
1 health creatures are just good in general, especially when they have spell power and draw cards.
Well, yeah, that's also a pretty big bonus, right? Yeah. Dethelor, on the other hand, he could mech warper into an Ortron. That might guarantee that he has like a soft guarantee that he has a Blast Mage next turn to actually, finish up things. Especially if a Shade is gonna come out.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one to beat. It definitely seems like the best one. God, Blood Mage is just gonna pop the shield though. Oh, he drops Fan of Knives.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. He can actually prep out this Fan of Knives and clear this board position.
Because he has the SI7 agent as well. What a draw. What a very, very good draw. Wow. Yeah, SI goes on to the Inoritron, and so much for a guarantee for a mech to survive.
He even picks up backstab. I gotta believe you're willing to trade in the the Blood Mage here though instead of the backstab.
Oh, how much damage did the Blood Mage already do? That is just enough, right? Azure Drake also, wow.
I mean, it dealt 3 damage and drew a card.
This is definitely looking really, really good for Orange right now. That Azure is also gonna kill this Chugga that's gonna come down most likely. You see, this is why Rogue is just good against Mech Mage, right? The early game anti-pressure is just there.
The other thing too is he doesn't know exactly what he was playing against too. So like, it just although it's like when we were talking about how dangerous it was to be playing against a rogue for the first time and like we just didn't know what it was playing against. Like this is one of those examples.
Right. And of course, like it's just the early game is so efficient dealing with stuff. Backstabs are free, spell powers minions are littered everywhere, and SI7 agents also provide that initial reaction to like to like any initial threats, really. So really well done.
He's still at 30, by the way.
Yeah, Mech Mage has just been struggling to get the board. I mean, pretty much Dethelor needs to use the superb Antonitis to actually end the game, right?
He's got to get some cogs though.
That's a pretty easy clear. And this, oh my god, this Splash Mage is never gonna get value, is it?
Well, he's got 1 turn to draw something, and it could get some extreme value. Oh, he's 1 mana off of being able to do it.
1 mana off, good play. Well, at least the Harvest Spawn does stick around, right? I mean, that's one of the good things comparing to Harvest Golem into Spider Tank is that it does kind of stick. It does soak 2 attacks. So yeah, there you go. It's the
Oh, I can definitely see Violet Teacher and Sap being a thing here.
Oh, sapping this Harvest Golem is gonna be so nice because at the same time you're pushing in 7 damage, and it's awesome. You create a dude, everything's happy. You just have the anti-heal bot, so you're actually sitting at how much health is this? Oh my god! Actually, you just kill it off, huh? Just resummon its aggro and get ready for the Tinker Sword turn.
You know, I see why Shades are actually in these rogue decks now. It's because you want to have Shade on the board every single time that you cast the Sharp Sword Oil. You always want to have a target.
Yeah, pretty receptive there. Oh, Archmage Antonis.
My assistance. Oh my
Forced
gosh.
to be a pretty. Oh.
All right. Well, get ready for infinite damage to be dealt, because that's
Oh.
probably what you're gonna see here.
The only
Eh,
thing that Orange has to be careful of is the Tinker's Oil not bouncing on a 1-1, right? That's like the main concern here.
Well, it's gonna be a 50-50 chance for that to happen. And now it's gonna be a little bit bigger than that.
Oh, that's gonna be. I don't even know. 2 out of 7 is. I'll just say 50-50, yeah.
I'll just say 50-50.
That is a lot of dudes. Wow.
Jeez.
Tinker's Oil is gonna come down. Sap is gonna summon 2 more dudes, but there's no more space. Oh, and it actually pops to the wrong Violet Teacher, but it doesn't matter. Look at this insane board. How does Mech Mage deal with a board like this? There's no Flame Strike. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Wow.
I just yeah, this is I don't know how you get out of this one.
This is a massacre.
This is just so much damage. Violet Teacher summoning an extra 4 power and 4 health worth of minions.
Oh, what is this Blast Mage gonna do? Kills 3 dudes, but that's
Yeah.
it. Oh man.
Close. Wow. Orange gonna just absolutely demolish game 1. That Blood Mage, so important. I'm gonna have to sneeze in a second here. It got 3 points of damage and drew a card. And it was just, he drew it right on curve to use backstab to make sure that he kept the board under control.
Right.
I don't think you could have asked for a much better opening.
Man, that Blood Mage did so much damage and also cycled the card. Why would you not want to play that? You know what? Blood Mage is definitely deserved to call a legendary, right?
Blood Mage,
Like, oh,
Blood Mage was the first legendary I crafted.
really?
The very first one.
Did you open any legendaries?
No.
Whoa.
The first one I crafted, I just like played a bunch of arena. And
Okay.
then I crafted a Blood Mage, and I was like, you know what? I need more than one legendary. And then I spent my life savings on gold cards.
Oh man. I mean, a lot of people don't feel like crafting a Blood Mage Thousands is good, right? You want to craft a big legendary guy, right? Just Blood Mage is like a 1-1. Why would you want to craft a 1-1, you know? And yeah, Orange showing the power that it has in the road deck. Really. Dates back to way before when Miracle Rogue was a thing and Thanos was just included in every single deck.
Yeah.
All right.
We're just here. I feel like Hunter. You know, the way that he saw this matchup pan out, I think that he feels like Hunter is going to be a pretty good matchup versus this.
Okay.
He didn't see the anti-kill bots.
Did not see the anti-kill bots, and you are. Oh wow,
Wow, he's actually still playing Undertaker.
He's still in the end. Look at this hand. Look at this hand. Look at this hand. So now we're gonna see if the Undertaker nerf is really gonna make a difference, right?
I mean, yeah, we definitely are.
Oh! Dethelor is actually sneaking a little bit of a snicker there. This Undertaker is gonna push for what is this hand? Really? What is this hand?
Well, this would be the automatic win if you didn't have Undertaker nerf hand.
Wow. Imagine if the Undertaker wasn't nerfed there. That's a turn 2 Yeti.
Oh, I'm imagining it.
Oh my god. Thank God for Undertaker nerf. So, Dethelor is actually thinking here whether to play the Undertaker or not. Wait, why would you not want to play the Undertaker?
Yeah, I think he's thinking about whether or not he wants to play a Leper Gnome this turn as well.
Okay. Well, of course you do. You push in 2 damage. Both of these guys are smiling, but yeah, one person's happy smiling and one person's sad smiling instead. Oh, that's the big difference here. But you know what? The dagger here, if you kill the Leper Gnome, right? You can also dagger the nerfed Undertaker now. Actually, fan it away. Oh, we actually see a message here, and we can't really see that. Probably Undertaker OP or something. Oh, more damages.
Yeah, we definitely gotta go for Leper Gnome Love Spinner here, though.
Uh-oh.
Can you imagine? Gosh, I hate this card. I still hate it.
Hey, it's balanced now,
It's
right?
still dealing 8 damage, even if he uses the poison.
Oh, good. No, he's gonna use Fan of Knives here, right? Has to. And then
I mean, I
Leopard will
think
also use two. What?
he could just
What?
Blade Flurry too. He doesn't want to take 4 more. I can tell you that.
But oh god, I mean, you have to like Fan of Knives. I guess you can say the Fan of Knives, but oh god, ugh, this doesn't feel good.
I mean, I would tend to go with your play. I would like to see Fan of Knives here instead.
Uh-huh.
Split.
Take the fortune damage.
I hate you, Undertaker. He's a Stone Tusk 4.
Okay, that's one of that's a
Able
good
to push
card.
a few points of damage if he wants to.
Nah, web spinner for now. I mean, you can charge later. These minions take a turn to get ready, right? And orange, once again, has to deal with these very, very annoying creatures. Violet's just a pretty good draw, I have to say. It's one of really the only draws that he wants. Oh god.
Well, it's not gonna be good anymore. He doesn't have any. He doesn't have any Death Rattle minions.
That's true. So what do you do here if you're a Dethelor? Just go YOLO?
Well, you can't kill his guy, so. Well, you can kill his guy. I think I'd still YOLO.
You're still YOLO.
Yeah, I think you just go for it and hope that you just keep drawing like Arcane Golems and Wolf Riders and stuff. This trade I think is fine because it gives you an idea. Oh, actually, now this is a
Interesting.
really, really solid upfront trade actually because now it makes a lot of sense to trade into it because you're just gonna make one big scavenging hyena and hope that it's enough to get the job done.
But orange does actually have the answer. We see the Phantom Knives and the Eviscerate. So
Yep.
if Dethelor actually goes this route, he's actually gonna get a little bit punished.
Yeah, oh, he's gonna get very punished for it, but I still think this is the overall right play to make.
Oh, Dethelor is actually snickering. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
So happy,
he's about to get some really bad news.
Don't
And
get cocky against the rogue. They also always have some tricks. Don't get cocky. Oh man.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine indeed.
The pleasure is mine. And you know what we have? Oh!
One
If
man off.
only he prepped the Fan of Knives. Imagine if he prepped the Fan of Knives. He would have got an 8/8 Van Cleave. That would have been insane.
He's still not entirely in the clear though here. Like if he just because remember, Deathlord's deck is mostly just burn cards.
That's right.
So if he just keeps drawing Wolf Riders and Arcane Golems, this game can still end.
That's true. What is this? What is this? Oh, that's a blank. So you can prep a sprint here, 4 mana. You could also Azuric here. So what?
Wait, you could preparation, dagger up, and then Sharpsword Oil, right? Prepper up, dagger up, Edwin Van Cleef, Sharpsword Oil.
Wait, what?
Preparation.
Edwin. Oh yeah, actually that's pretty good.
You get a 4. You get a 7/4 out of the deal, and you get a 4-point dagger.
Oh, actually that's a pretty good move. I like that. Because you are actually on a timer as well. Wow, I didn't see that. It's really perceptive of you.
Oh, they would have drawn
would've been
Iron Beak Owl.
terrible. I don't know what Admirable is thinking, guys. Admirable, can't you just make better plays?
Yeah, what am I thinking? I'm just stupid. Why can't I see into the future? Like Twitch chat.
Yeah, Arcanine Soulpriest, right? I mean, that's a skill that you need to like actually learn. God damn it.
I think you attack with this bow here. Like he's gonna if he doesn't attack with it, he's gonna rely on having like drawing something like explosive trap. But at the point he draws that, I just don't think he's gonna get 2 attacks out of the charge.
Well, the thing is, he's also running Blazizuka, right? So yeah, I would have actually liked the
Yeah,
attack.
I would have attacked here almost every single time.
Double sprint by orange, so that means I'm probably sure there's no Gadgetzan in this deck.
I think he's gonna go with prep sprint here.
Really?
Yeah, because if he digs into an antique heal bot, he's gonna really seal this game out.
Oh, I think he actually should just prep dagger and oil, and then go for the face, and then SI this Undertaker.
That's exactly what he's gonna do.
Yeah, that's a double fireball, right? I mean, Tinker's oil does 6 damage, but you're doing it over 2 turns, so that's 12 damage. That's a 4 mana pyroblast.
I think he's debating whether or not to play the Edwin or not too.
The Edwin is pretty juicy, 6/6. I mean, how much damage is he? Oh no, he thinks better of it.
This guy's toast.
Alright, and 7 to the dome. And 4 to the dome as well. How much damage does he have next turn? 14.
He's only 14, yeah.
14. That's why you really considered Edwin, huh? Well, I was gonna stop things just a little bit, and Dethelor is not drawing any of his Arcane Golems or Wolf Riders, and that's a problem, right?
Yep. Now it looks like Kill Command's his best draw, though.
Yep. But Orange
I
is
mean, this
shaking
game is
his head.
still really close. Oh, and he picks up Lotheb.
Ooh.
And that's going to shut out Kill Command from being an out. And I think that Lotheb just sealed this game off.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you can't even unleash the hounds and use the hero power anymore. So that Lotheb draw was pretty insane. Wait,
Yeah, he
is
just
Leroy
Lotheb.
found in this deck? Is Leroy in
Oh
out?
my gosh, if Leroy's in here, I don't even know what to think.
This is the draw, and
Oh, it's a Savannah Highmane instead. That's going to do it. Deathlord is going to fall with his Hunter deck. Orange is going to take a 2-0 lead with Rogue.
wow.
Wow. You know, I was just talking about how these Rogue decks they can get you. They can just get you. And you're like, gosh, I didn't prepare for this. Like none of your. Here's the thing about Rogue, is it is a little bit of an inferior strategy, I think, but
Okay.
part of what's counteracting that is that the stronger strategies people are preparing for. They're actually building their decks to match up against these kinds of things. Almost no one's building their deck to match up against how Rogue matchups are right now. When that's happening, then they have the liberty of creating a game plan and then preparing for everything else that's out there. Not only are they kind of evening the edge in terms of deck building because the strategies are lining up better, but you don't really know exactly what they're doing. And then they get the knowledge edge from that as well.
Yeah, that's true. So I mean, man, this rogue is actually like super amazing. I mean, I kind of disagree with like the game plan that's a little bit worse than other matchups. I mean, just look at the mech mages now, right? What other class can deal with the mech mage that early on with that much response, right? I think rogue is actually a very good pick here. That if you think the whole pool of players is going to be playing mech mage, that's a very valid answer.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the benefit of it. It's like it was before. Like originally it was kind of like a counter deck to some of the aggro decks that were out there, and it got so good at countering the decks that people started finding ways to like counter the decks enough and then counter the other rogue decks that everyone was playing. And it just kind of exploded into the rogue meta where everyone killed everyone with Leroy Jenkins no matter what.
Oh god, that was a bad meta, let me tell you. Dethelor is holding his head. He's really thinking of what to pick here, thinking of whether to coup out this rogue. Is giving us a little bit too much trouble even. But man, Orange is showing the dominance of rogue that can happen when you draw really well and you have the answer.
I don't really know where you go here if you're Dethelor. I don't know which one of his matchups is better against his rogue deck. I would think that it's Warlock, but I'm not entirely sure. There's definitely a chance that it's Druid instead, but I think I would go with Warlock here.
Yeah, I
But then
mean,
you have to be worried about the coup though.
oh, Orange still has a coup. That's really he's like super ahead now, huh? But I think if you're Orange right now, would you just wait for your opponent to see if they coup you first?
I think so. I think you do want to wait.
Yeah, you have 3 decks to 2, right? And you
Yeah.
just need to pick one of them.
So you just go with it. What if it's like a last second coup, and you're like, their last second's better than your last second? See, you say there's no micro in Hearthstone.
Oh,
You need to practice that last second coup micro.
okay, I see.
That's the way to do it.
And here we go, game loaded. It is gonna be a the fast lock. Remember
Yeah.
the Arcane Golem one, and yeah, Orange on the other hand. That looks like a pretty interesting hand. I mean, if it's Zoo, I think it's an auto win, but it's not a Zoo, so yeah, not quite. Would you want to play this matchup, gentlemen? It's like a
Oh
game of
gosh.
chicken too, right? They're like staring at each other's soul, and
No.
oh,
Orange is gonna coup it. I agree. I agree with his coup here too. It makes a lot of sense just in the matchup sake because it's like we talked about this earlier where someone tries to win 2 matches and then just coup whatever they queue up with their third deck with because almost no one is going to take what they think is their worst chance out of the 2 to play that game.
that's true. Although mind games.
Yeah, I mean that's where it comes into effect. But do you have enough information to think that your opponent's going to do that? That's where it's tough. You're like you have to gauge it. Like what if I cooed the wrong one?
Mhm.
I would tend to coup the warlock though.
Yeah, me too. I mean, especially Dethelor's Warlock, right? It's not the typical one, and it's really hard to play against that because it's just like the experience, right? How often do you come across like an Arcane Golem overwhelming lock with like double Hellfire, double Implosion, and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, it
So
just doesn't really happen.
at least in a Druid, they have like cheating. I mean, good cards like Innervate and Wild Growth, but then still, you at least know what cards they're gonna play, right? So.
Yeah.
Familiarity is a very strong point. So here you go. Orange against Dethelor 2-0. This might be Dethelor's last match, but he certainly hopes not. We have a Shade opening for Orange. That's pretty cool. And if Dethelor ever flip the cards around, oh, no, that's not a terribly bad hand. After a mulligan, it's like he did mulligan because he just drew his 7 drops back. And oh man, double fan of knives against druids. Not exactly
Oh, he
what you
picks up
see.
wild growth.
Wow. Wow, growth.
I think you jam out this turn one pilot to Shredder.
Really? I think you
Yeah.
actually wait. I think you actually want to turn 2 wild growth into shredder, and then you can also like innovate a Dr. Boom and then coin an Ancient of Lore after that. I think that's like insane, right? That curve is actually pretty insane. Just you have to wait a turn on that though.
Yeah, I'm gonna innovate out the pilot Shredder. I think that the potential for that card to get like 8+ damage is worth more than the curve considerations.
Really? I
I
think
think so.
I don't know, but playing the Dr. Boom, if you do it your way, then Dr. Boom is coming out turn 7. If you do it the wild growth way, then Dr. Boom is coming out turn 4. That is a lot of acceleration. This turn one is actually pretty difficult because you have a lot of options available.
Yeah, I mean it's really
Like,
tough. I mean, this is a lot of foresight.
yeah, I just like the passing, right? Turn 2 Wild Grove, turn 3 the Shredder, and then turn 4 Dr. Broom. Perfect. Love it. A natural mistake. Definitely doesn't seem like it. Yeah, it's a bit confused on what he wants to do, but Wild Grove most certainly should come down to turn 2.
I mean, once you've got to this point, you're definitely wild growthing.
Right. Orange probably is gonna have a shade here. That's just shade in Rogue is really good, huh? Right? Otherwise you won't be playing anything.
I mean, I like it a lot, especially with the sharp sword oil in there.
Whoa. Turn 3. Dr. Broom instead. Uh-oh. Orange is not looking happy about that.
This is actually going to get dealt with too, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Man, it's not a happy dealt with.
I don't know. I think you are pretty happy to deal with it.
Well, I mean, you are expending quite a bit of resources against this, don't you think? Prep Fan of Knives.
Yeah, you're spending 3 cards on 2 cards.
Maybe you
Definitely
get a
you're not getting the favorable end of the deal.
right.
But I don't think it's like the worst case scenario. Like this is more of a sigh of relief, I think, than it is like crap. I have to use a bunch of cards on it.
Okay, but hey, it is a sigh of relief. But what happens when your opponent drops more creatures now? Like,
That's definitely tough.
yeah, Drew of the Claw is the pick right here because it does play on curve. Do you want to charge your opponent's face, Admirable?
This is one of the matchups where I'm okay with taunting, but I do like charging.
Who are you?
I do like charging now. Here's the
Oh.
thing, though. If he didn't play the turn one piloted shredder to start applying pressure to his opponent, I think he's just going to go strictly for value, which is like what he's trying to do with the Dr. Boom, and it also kind of like lines up with that strategy and that consistency is that he wants extra value out of this. So like, hadn't he played like turn one piloted shredder and tried to get in there for like 8 to 12 points of damage? Sure, charge Drew to the claw. You're getting him really close to combo range at that point. But right now, your opponent's at 25. They still have 4 cards in their hand. They have a dagger active. You've seen a lot of this deck, and it's really heavily based on value. You need to get something going. See, this is actually like this plan. I'm not actually unhappy with this. This is like a much more aggressive line, believe it or not, because what he's saying now is he wants to get this active, and his game plan is quite literally to use Force Nature Savager in 1 turn with the big shade and try to win the game off of that.
Interesting assessments. Adric is gonna come down and his sprints. Oh my god, 2 sprints. Not really what he's. It's kind of like a Doomhammer, right? You want to see one thing. and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks like a very, very easy Lotheb.
Yeah. I mean, Rose. I think over half of the deck is spells, so it's usually a good Lothep turn. All right. Lothep
Yep.
is gonna come down here, and gonna stop any spells from Orange happening. What does
Yeah,
he?
this turn is not this turn is not magnificent.
No, not at all.
This is ugly.
I mean, you can attack the Lotheb and then use anti-Keelbot, for example. That's one of the ways that you can deal with things. But aside from that, that's about it.
Is this another disconnect scenario?
I hope Orange is still with us. That would be pretty sad if that wasn't the case.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no, Dethelor's shaking his head. He actually he kind of knows what's happening too. Oh boy. No,
Well, that is end of the turn.
that's a poof.
Orange. Yeah, that's certainly the end of the game. Oh, oh my gosh, even just Savage Roar.
Yeah. Well,
Um, yeah, so Deathlord I think is going to wait on exactly what he should be doing
mhm,
to figure out how we go forward. But that's definitely a disconnect. And in a situation where I feel like Deathlord definitely had an advantage in that game,
right.
albeit kind of a slight one.
Hmm.
But the Lotheb was like giving him a much stronger turn to like yield to like take initiative from his opponent and then really run away with the game. But we're gonna have to wait and see exactly what happens. It looks like that's gonna be game 3 to Deathlord at the very least, though. But we do have a schedule. We have a bunch of other players waiting. Of course, we have people watching. We have production crew. We have
Hmm.
Amaz, who I'm sure after the longest day's works of all time
Oh
is
man.
tired. But yeah, we're gonna have to just wait and see what happens here.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have a response from the admin soon. Um, let's see if I can get any of those. But then, yeah, I mean, even though Orange would still drop that game, I believe. I mean, the Savage Roar. I mean, judging by the hand quality as well, I would have to still give this in favor of the Druid. Even though if it's not like a sure win, it's definitely a big favorite. So yeah, we didn't
I,
really see a play flurry. We didn't even see a
yeah, I
clear
think
like.
it's really just given this like the context of the hands. Like he'd already gotten the Doctor Boom taken care of, but then
Mhm,
he started to get some board presence. He drew Lotheb to make sure that he could take initiative no matter what versus that
right.
matchup, and then he also had Force Nature Savage War. So it's like almost impossible for him to have like not had an actual advantage in that game just because he's setting up for lethal and so soon after that. And so if Orange can manage to check that, that's a different story. But that's going to take a few extra cards. We have to see a few extra turns, and at the end of the day, just DCs mean game losses, and that's the way that tournaments have to work.
I mean, yeah, of course. Otherwise, people will go like, yeah, the first one to pull the plug wins the game, right?
Yeah, be
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm going to lose. Oh,
That's
I disconnected. Wow. Not that I think people are going to be doing that, but the
yeah.
point is, it's a preventative measure, so that it can never happen. That's the idea.
It's kind of the drawback, I guess, of having a live event like this. Well, I mean, you have multiple things that happen, right? Live events, you have like recorded events. Recorded events obviously are much more stable in terms of production and showing to you guys. But of course, the live event adds the extra excitement, if anything, right? Players are kind of like playing along with you guys, and yeah, you can just get like, you know, the interaction is definitely there. So advantages and disadvantages, and we'll see.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that we have. So yeah, moving forward with this, let's take a look at his lineup and see what what's going on, because he's finally lost with his rogue deck, which has just absolutely been a menace on what's
Mhm.
happening here. And this druid deck is a fast druid deck, so I don't think he wants to queue warrior into it. Do you think he wants to just take a druid mirror, or do you think warlock? He's feeling confident in that. Like, where exactly does he go? Because Dethelor still got his coup available too.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously Deflo wants to hit the warrior of the druid, so that's definitely not going to be cooed. Uh, Druid mirror might be the most scary part. I mean, the warlock seems perfectly fine, right? Handlock. It depends on what your starting hand is. So if I'm actually orange, I would not kill the warlock just to give my opponent a free look at his opening hand.
So you would not queue the warlock
I
and
would
see if
not kill the warlock.
okay. So you want them to see if they're going to coup your druid.
Right. I think I'd probably go with the mirror match, to be honest. Yeah, that feels pretty
Actually, I
safe.
think I actually like that game plan. I think
Hmm.
because if you have a bad opening here with the druid too and they coup it, you're like yes.
Yeah.
Also another big benefit.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, hopefully, we can get Orange a bit set up here. He's restarting his computer, and hopefully it'll be back soon. So we're gonna take a quick break, guys. A quick 5 minute break, and then when we return, hopefully we can continue the series. 2-1 to Orange right now versus Deflor. See you guys soon. And welcome back, guys, to the Pinnacle 2. And we are just in the middle of the Deflor versus Orange match, which is basically the quarterfinals. There's only one quarterfinals and one semifinals, and of course, we have the grand finals afterwards. Have a look at the playoffs here. Orange is actually ahead of Deflor 2-1 right now. Of course, we'll just update the scores as soon as all the matches are finished. And the winner will go on to face against Life Coach for a chance at, play out between them and Strife Crow to be crowned the grand champion of Pinnacle 2.
It's a big deal indeed. So Orange has gotten back online. He's ready to play another game. Deathlore, of course, is going to get awarded the win for that disconnect. So it is 2 games to 1 right now. And kind of moving forward, I really liked your strategy of queuing up the Warlock here and seeing what ends up happening. I think he's just fine with that, and I think it's exactly what he should do.
All right. Well, we'll see what Orange thinks about because of course there are definitely very viable strategies. We can't really listen to his inner thoughts right now for him to explain why he would do that. But yeah, we'll just have to try and analyze what he picks and why he did that and so on. I think it's gonna be cool.
Deathlor still has a coup available too, so not like the worst case scenario for him. If he doesn't feel like he wants to play a matchup, he doesn't have to at least one time. So definitely, being down to, we've seen bigger comebacks than this before. We've seen down the old 0-3 and then come back for 4-0 straight to win series before, like in some show matches and things like that. But it's just you never want to be down in the series. I hate it. It always feels uncomfortable, and I'm like, no, I only have to lose one more. It's so easy to beat someone one time. It's so hard to beat them twice.
I feel like once a player gets actually win after being down 2 games, the momentum actually does carry forward because you're just 1 game away from being even, and then after that you're just 1 game away from winning the whole thing, right? So
Yeah.
like winning the third game after being down 2 games is just feels really good. It's just that third game that is very important to win,
Yeah. I mean, the player who's behind is kind of like in a nothing to lose situation
right?
where the player ahead certainly has a lot of pressure on them. They're like, oh my gosh, just let me close out the series. They lose one, and they're like, wow, he still has to win 2 more. And then you lose the second one, and you're like, I had a 2-0 lead. I don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Orange is going to queue up Warrior
Okay.
versus Druid instead, though.
And yeah, once again, we're gonna actually disable Orange's cam to help his connection a little bit out, and he's gonna actually play this match out. Of course, Orange's, but Deflor, he has an option to coup this if he wants, but no, of course not. Spectronet is on your hand in your hand. Wild Growth is also on your hand, so like it's really good. And look at Orange's hand, that's just pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't think that Deathlord would under really any circumstances want to coup this matchup.
Right.
Orange is It's just this is like so bad for them. And not only is it so bad, but he's also got like a compounding issue with it. Even when Druids had like cut Spectrum Light from their deck list, it was still pretty bad for Warrior. That card being back in is just like it's such a massive threat against Warrior. Like, how do they deal with it? Like Sludge Belcher is one of the ways that they slow it down. Deathlor's already got Black Knight in his opening hand.
Well, I don't know. Just the wild growth is just so much that it's just gonna compound, having a
Oh
compound.
my gosh, and Orange's hand continues to get heavier. He just has really no way to get out of this situation. He needs a bad summon from this.
That's pretty bad, I guess, in a sense.
It is, but it is. I mean, it's a 2-power minion, is what I see.
Right.
And
it's better than an average though. Like the average.
Well, here's where it's gonna be really bad. Is Orange is about to play a Sludge Belcher to try to slow this board down a little bit.
Sure.
It's gonna get Black Knighted, and then this Amani Berserker is potentially gonna get activated.
Oh, this Amani is gonna be super angry.
Oh, he's gonna go with Harrison Jones here.
Wow.
So this is gonna get answered straight away too.
Whoa, is that very is that a play around Black Knight?
I don't really know what it is to play around, and I actually don't know what he can play around at this point. I think he's just in dire straits and has to get something rolling.
Yeah, this is definitely not looking really good for Orange here. Sylvanas could come down here, but man, you are gonna hit for so much damage here. Axe, that's a little bit too slow. So you just have to play Sylvanas and hopefully get something like a Taskmaster next turn and do a very good clear.
Innervate, not the best pickup at the moment. Yeah, just go ahead and silence this and keep going forward. I actually really don't mind using the Spectrum Light to clear this out.
With the hero power, that is.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 health minions that have like the effect that no spells can target it is actually quite strong. Yeah, although it's not really too relevant against the warrior though.
And the other thing too is that Whirlwind here still is like if he chooses to Whirlwind, it does activate the Amani Berserker, so he has to like I mean that's a 5-power minion on the board all of a sudden. So I imagine if he's Whirlwinding here, he's gonna execute.
Yep, Whirlwind, execute, and play a Belcher. But the Belcher we know it's just gonna get wrecked.
He's putting up a good fight here though. That Harrison actually like not getting Black Knight on that turn has allowed him to draw a couple of cards to really get. Oh my gosh!
My God! Suddenly.
Yeah, his next turn is going to be insane.
He can actually play a lot of cards.
Yep, I'd like to see this Shade get unveiled too, I think.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I don't mind keeping it though. I mean, there's a lot of merits to keeping it back right now.
Oh, it does keep it back.
Yeah,
okay.
he's gonna keep it hidden for now. That Acolyte's nowhere near getting activated yet, and Ragnaros looking like it's pretty good. I mean, Orange is at 24. Despite kind of everything that's been thrown at him.
But man, combo turn is next turn, so Ragnaros. Well, I mean, even if combo turn is not next turn, this Ragnaros needs to do a lot of work here.
Yeah, he has no way to play. I mean, he really has no way to play around the combo anyway. Oh my gosh, that stings! Ragnaros is gonna go 8 to the face. Oh, that is ugly. Dethelor, everything working his way now. He's gonna pick up 2 extra cards from this Ancient of Lore, and he's got 6 mana available to him, so even Sylvanas...
Oh my God! I don't know. This is pretty ugly. You know what? He can actually even go with face here, Ancient of Lore, and draw into Savage Roar. What can Orange actually do from this situation?
Wait a minute.
What?
Oh no, he only has 9 mana. I was gonna say if he draws Cool Taskmaster, he can Grom him for 12 and then hope the Ragnaros hits him in the face again. But that's not a possibility. So.
Oh God. Well, we do know that Orange is playing the Gorehowl, but man, it's just so clunky. They can't play it. Damn.
Wait, would you have played Sylvanas last turn? I feel like I would have played Sylvanas.
I would have played Sylvanas last turn.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure. I mean, I guess it's only weak to Brawl, right? Because if it brawls and you actually go,
second Ragnaros shot to the face.
What?
And 10 points of damage on the side of Dethelor right now. If he draws
15.
if he draws into something like Savage Roar, he can end this game.
Keeper of the Grove also does it, actually. Actually, no, you have to pay 7 mana for the Ancient of Lord, but oh my god, the damages. Oh, no, you can use the Wild Grove to draw. So if it's an Ancient of Lord, no, blah. Keeper of the Grove, even. It's GG. What is it? Oh!
Got to be enough. I
That
haven't. I didn't do the
is
exactly, but I mean, just I mean, you try to figure it out. I think that's just absolutely 100% going to be enough. He's going to chew through everything so easily. 13, 17, 25 damage of face damage coming from Dethelor. He's going to tie this series up 2-2 now. Ragnaros dealing 16 damage to the face when there are 3 and 4 minions on the table. It fails to hit both times. I am just, wow, that is stunning. You do not see that happen very often.
Ragnar's not kind to Orange at all. He just wants to do his own thing and ignore what the master says. That is really bad. But hey, now Orange has to choose one of his last decks, and you know what? Based on the coup, Deflo can actually just play it out. He doesn't even need to use the coup, right? He can just use the coup after beating this and just automatically win. That's why this is a best of 5. So yeah, what would you want to do here? Just look at your opening hand and see which matchup, which opening hand is better.
I think his opening hand's really going to influence it, but honestly, if I'm in Deathlord's position, I probably want to take out this Druid deck.
Okay.
That's what I think. But his opening hand's going to influence it again. Like if his opening is Wild Growth Innervate X, I don't see him using the coup. But outside of that, it's just I probably also would just tend to. I'd probably tend to not use coup if he queued up Warlock. I think, unless my hand was just particularly terrible.
Okay. Like how terrible?
Like
Force
just
of Nature,
no.
Force of Nature, Savageroar?
Yeah, like no keepable cards. Terrible. That's
Okay, okay.
probably a situation where I would tend to go ahead and try to get my extra.
And going first as well, right? Because going first, you do lose more chances on drawing that Wild Growth and drawing that Innervate, which is very important.
I still like going first to Druid actually, but
Oh, get a free Wild Growth, I guess. But you get one less card. And that
just
one card is
I
really
just
important against
I
Druid.
just like going first because the game ends on your side. It means you get to attack for an extra time, and I like attacking.
Okay. Oh, really admirable. I never knew. God damn it.
So that's
All
what I would
right.
say.
So yeah, we'll load up the game as soon as it happens. Gonna have to hmm, gonna have to wait up on the players to choose their classes, I guess, really.
What do you think? What exactly do you think of the Warlock matchup? By the way, do you think? Because this is like way back in the day, everyone used to pick Warlock to favor against Druid. And then just
Right.
sort of what happened is that Druid continued to evolve and Handlock continued to evolve. And they started adapting to different matchups where Druid was really adapting to Handlock and Handlock was kind of adapting to the rest of the meta. And at some point along the way, Savit's really tipped this off to me. Like this was quite a while ago. I mean, this is back like when Argent Commander was still being played in Druid. But he
Uh-huh.
was like, I think Druid has the advantage in this matchup. And I was like, really? And so we kind of watched it pan out. And, during the panel, we were watching this match and the Druid
Right.
just like stomped this Handlock deck. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think it's good again. Like this matchup, I think it's okay. So then I
Okay.
started playing it and I started realizing that my approach was really incorrect on it. And what you can actually do with Druid is you can oftentimes just kind of kill every single threat that they throw at you until you get to enough board position that your critical mass is quite literally just Force Nature Savageroar and then the 3 minions I have on the board. And so you keep them at like a really high life total. It's like what we saw Life Coach do, where
Right.
his opponent was at 21 and he was like, you know what, I'm just not going to hero power him. I'm just going to hero power to gain my armor and pass the turn.
Yeah, I mean,
What is your
people.
experience in that?
Well, I mean, adding to that first, people are starting to actually know the counter to Molten Giants now, right? At the start of the Hearthstone days, people would just attack phase every time, right? It was like, why won't you? And then Molten Giants went it. It's like, yeah, maybe he won't have it, so why would I not attack, right? And now players have been evolving to, yeah, I'm just gonna hold off because I can just deal with the hammock threats, and when they run out of threats, then I can just win, right? Yeah. So with that kind of knowledge now, players have definitely, I definitely favor the druid over the warlock right now, and we haven't seen any zoo players too, and I don't know if it's good riddance that we don't see any zoos, but once again, I kind of miss looking at that matchup. I do, I still do.
I think I think that you miss it because Priest was actually pretty good against Zoo. That's what I think.
Yeah, druids suck. Druids are annoying. It needs to be a Shadow Word 4. Come on, Blizzard, make a Shadow Word
4. What would you title it? And what would it cost?
Yeah, a Shadow Word 4. It's a 4 mana spell. I would play it. Deals 4 it kills a 4 attack creature.
Okay, you can't call it Shadow Word 4. What do you actually call it?
Oh. Wait, pain.
I want like the flavor and like the history of this card. I want everything to be encapsulated in it, and then I want you to describe the art to me as well.
So Shadow Word Agony, because it's about time to give some back. Yeah. There you go.
And then what's the cost of this?
But it's a 4 cost that kills a 4 attack creature because it does kill Ysera and whatnot, right? But when you use it, your opponent's screen goes upside down for like 10 seconds. Yeah.
I don't like that part. I don't want to feel like I'm getting turned upside down. You're just like flipping everything on them. Everything they know is wrong.
Oh man.
It's like that Marble Madness stage where you have to go up instead of going down the stage.
Oh
and,
god.
Like you're squishing the little things that always attacked your little marble as you went through the earlier stages, and you got extra time for it.
Okay. Interesting comparison there. Or you can just Shadow Word 4 just destroy all minions in their deck that have 4 attack.
In the deck?
Yeah.
That's brutal, man.
That is pretty brutal.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, April 1st, guys.
Look, I played Druid. I'm just, what did I do to you? I'm not saying like I hope that priests only get Norshire clerics made in the future sets from now on. So they spoil 10 new priest cards and they're all Norshire clerics. And you're like, I want something else.
Oh my god. The new priest secret will be obliterate. Yeah, when your opponent plays innervate, they immediately lose the game.
Okay, we're getting a little carried away, don't you think? They lose the game. You know what? I hope they nerf priest hero power. What do you think of that? I hope they make it heal for 1 instead of 2.
Oh. Now you're just getting salty. All right. Well, yeah, we just have to wait for players to get in. Hopefully we have another update. But the admins, let's see. Admins, do you have update? Okay.
Yeah. So, man, seeing Strifecrow in the finals of another tournament, it's like you're like, oh yeah, Strifecrow wins everything, right? It's like let me just give you an idea of how Strifecrow just wins everything.
Okay.
He got top 4 at DreamHack Winter, and he got top 8 at the BlizzCon World Championships. Those are like 2 major ones. He got top 8 at IM Shenzhen. He got top 8 at DreamHack Bucharest. He got top 8 in the first Prismatic Cup, and then he's won a Tavern Takeover. He's won a G2A Masters. He's won a Seat Story Cup, and he's won a Kingwin charity event. Like, is there anyone out there who's like actually has as big of a resume as Strifecrow does?
Not in tournament scene. I mean, even in the ladder scene, right? Like, jeez. He just needs to be like super dominant in arena when a ranked arena comes out, and then he's going to be the trifecta, the magical triangle.
Yeah.
The Harrison Jones. The Harrison Jones does this, right?
I feel like the player who's going to contest him the most for that spot is probably like, I guess, Colento. Because I know that Colento won DreamHack Winter. I know he's won a VIA game.
Right.
And I know he's won a VGVN. And he also got Type 8 at Worlds.
Right. I don't know.
Feel
that's
like I'm missing
something. That's not even close to the Strifecrow's list. I mean, that's like.
That's just what I know, though.
Like,
I read off a Strifecrow one because I have those notes in front of me, but I don't have a Colento one. Like, I'm just going off like ones that I 100% know that Colento's done. There's got to be something missing.
Yes, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I hope there was like a website that actually view accomplishment like that on the spot. Something like that.
Yeah, there actually is. This is beautiful. Okay, so Colento. Okay, so here's Colento's lineup from that. Okay. Is he had won DreamHack Winter, he got top 8 at BlizzCon. He got top 8 the second Seat Story Cup. He won the Via Game House Cup. He got second at Millennium House Cup 4. He got second at Heroes of Cards. He won the second Prismata Cup. He got third or top 4 at the third VGVN, and he won the second VGVN.
Okay, that's
a
a
lot
good
of
list.
stuff. Yeah,
That's a good list. That's a good list. Yeah. But
Man,
but I think Strifko is still the top. I think. Yeah. For now.
Strifecraw, I think, has been more consistent for a longer period of time.
Right.
I think
I
that's
mean,
really
he's been around at the start too, right? Like the
yes.
people who are around at the start were like Savage and Strife Crow, and people who appeared at Fight Night, really, right? Some are not here. Some are not really that, playing active anymore. But those are the two guys that come into mind.
Yeah, I think those two guys are definitely up there. I'm curious if Savitz, because I know Savitz won a ton of stuff early on too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this one's really big. So some of these are like really small stuff, like again, like really early in the year. So like in he won the Angry Chicken Invitational at some point, which is like that's really early on. So like that, I imagine a small tournament. Even the prize for that one's really small. But then he's got second at Tavern Takeover. He's got first in the Gamers Origin Cup, the first one. First at ISF. Top 4 at the first VGVN. First in VGVN 3. First in the Invent Invitational, which actually would happen earlier this year. First at OG Invitational. Third in Heroes of Cards. Fourth in M House Cup 5. Third at Assembly Winter 2015, which is the one I think that just happened. And then he got top 16 at WCA in China, and then he also won Seat Story Cup 2.
That's a pretty good list too. That's a pretty good list. The funny part is actually it was Gara and Tides that actually won the major tournament that actually mattered the most, right? It was like the WEC and WCA, and they actually got their money, which is actually a very good relief.
They got paid like yesterday, right?
Yeah, they actually just got paid, which is good on the China tournaments, really. Oh, we just got an update here, and it looks like the Orange's internet has just went out.
Yeah. So,
like out.
Just
boom.
Yeah.
Just snap, boom. So we're gonna set up Dethelor versus Life Coach. Unfortunately, once again, to the viewers and any tournament organizers at this point, this is what we have to expect if it could be a live tournament. Maybe next time we will have to really consider doing a pre-recorded series, maybe just like 1 or 2 days beforehand, to keep it fresh, I guess, to keep it exciting. But for now, for this one, we're gonna move on to Dethelor versus Life Coach.